Hey, it's Dr. Fred, and I'm going to talk about 3 steps. How many steps? 3 steps to hiring your team. Now, why am I going through this? Because you know your practice sucks without the right team. You can't grow. In fact, when you have the wrong people, or your training systems aren't right, or you're even overtraining, or you're managing your team, all of it stops your growth, stops you from reaching your vision. So I'm going to show you 3 steps. How many steps? 3 steps to hiring. Here we go. 3 steps to hiring so you can have a purpose-driven team. Now, there's people that recommend, hey, give them a disc profile and have the right personality in the right place. I totally agree with that. In fact, Stephen Franson, Alan Miner have a group that actually find people, they test them for you, and that's great. You can call them, and if you're going to interview your own people, the difference is you don't hire the resume. Have you ever hired somebody that had the perfect resume, but then they didn't get along with, they didn't play well with others, or they weren't purpose-driven, or they were task-driven and made mistakes? So what you have to do is create a purpose. What is that? Purpose-driven team. Because when the team is on purpose, they don't make mistakes. So they can't just love the purpose. I'm sure there's lots of teams that they love the purpose. They can't just love it. They have to live it. It's got to be part of their life purpose. It has to become them, and they have to refer. Do you want your team and your patients to be building your practice for you, be building your culture? That's what these 3 steps are going to do. So are you ready? Okay. So what's step 1? First of all, group interview. Right? So what you're going to do is your office manager, there we go, group interview, is going to bring a group of people and then they're going to interview them. Now here's what you want to do. You want to ask them questions, and you want to see how they interact with others. You want to see, do they copy other people's answers? Do they have original thought? You're going to see which people step out of the crowd first. Who are the leaders? Who are the people that are sitting in back? Who are the people that are a little more shy and introverted versus who are those people that are going to step out and give you an answer and take the lead? So we definitely want to hire leaders and promoters first. So you're going to ask questions like, what prompted you to take this interview? What is about, first you give them an overview of what you do. What is it about our purpose and what we do that inspires you and want to bring out your best? So you ask them questions like that, and you give them the opportunity to sell themselves. You never ask a yes or no question. So what you're doing is, how do they interact in the group? You pretty much know the type of person that you're looking for and the energy that you're looking for. And then you're going to pick the best few, maybe 3 to 5, depending on people, how many people are there. And then you're going to invite them into the second interview. Okay, so what's the second interview? That's a team interview. We're just going to put enter. That's a team interview. Now, why do we do a team interview? What's that look like? That means the whole team is going to sit like a panel, and the team hires and the team fires. And the team is going to drill them with questions. Now, why do we want to do that? Why does the team hire? Because if the doctor hires and a team member doesn't get along or have rapport with that new team member, they create resentment. So when they don't work out, and then maybe the doctor has to fire them, maybe the doctor keeps them, because we tend to keep the wrong people far too long, which kills your practice. You fracture the unity of the team. You fracture your culture from the inside out. So when the team hires, if that new person doesn't work out, then the team takes responsibility so you don't create a mutiny against the doctor. And it's not that they create a mutiny, but if the team feels powerless to who they can hire, and they don't take and they don't have responsibility, you create a powerless feeling. You create an employee, not an owner. We want to create team members that feel like owners, that have power, they have responsibility, because they are going to take your purpose much further than you can alone. And you guys know this. So the team interviews them, and what do they drill them with questions? What questions? Well, it depends on the position. If they're a front desk person, okay, what makes your customer service skills so exceptional? What customer service experience have you had in the past? What is it about your personality that would be an inspiration to others? So you get these questions in advance where they're not yes or no questions. You don't say, are you good with people? Yes. Why? You know what I mean? You don't give those answers. Say, what is it about you that makes people want to be around you, that's magnetic, that brings out the best in other people? Like, that would be a great question, because isn't that really the type of personality and characteristic you want at the front desk? They're the first and last impression of every visit. Their responsibility is to raise the state of the patient on the way in so they can have the healing experience. Now, when they go through the team interview and the team's drilling with questions, what impression does that new team member get? That they're coming into a team, that they have responsibility to other people, right? Not only that, you're putting them on the spot where how do they do under pressure? How are they when they're being drilled by multiple people from different directions? Isn't that what's going to happen at the front desk? I got 2 lines ringing. I got 3 people trying to check in. I got 2 people that have questions on the way out. Isn't that really the experience that you're going to create? So you put them in a stressful environment. The team has power. Now, once that interview is done, the team gives you feedback. If one person doesn't like them, you can't hire them. Now, that one person also has to give you a reason. So you create an open forum to interact with the team, so you come to a team decision. Now, if that one person doesn't like them, they could change your mind based on the influence of the other people, right? So you come to a team decision. When the team comes in an agreement, they hire them. They are going to be more empowered to train that person than if your team members don't really care for them. The doctor pushes them on them, right? And now they have to train them. Now you're creating a negative environment, because what happens when they train? It's more work. You're getting in my way. You know what I mean? A lot of times you get new team members. Your stats can take a dump because the focus is off. Well, this is how you keep your stats up. This is how you keep your team unity up. This is how you keep your energy and your purpose up. They're sucked into the wake of the purpose of the other team members, and you're conditioning them that they're responsible to the other team members. Now, what's the third interview? By the way, on day 1 of that new team member, they have to be processed as a patient. That's how you train them. It's not like you're processing them as a patient trying to train a new team member. No, they have to have the new patient experience. They have to feel the subluxation, right? They have to know, I want to change my life right now. You take them all the way through a financial, by the way, get their husband in there and show them what the value of that care is. What's 3? They go to your new patient workshop. Now here's the deal. This is part of the interview. I know you can read my writing right there. Now, why is that? Because a new patient workshop should inspire them to want to be a patient even if they're not hired. If they're just there to get to a class because they think it's the third interview and they're not into the purpose, don't hire them. They could have a great resume. But if they have a great resume but they're not into the purpose, they're going to be an anchor to your team. Purpose is everything. Why? Because their job is not to run the front desk. That's their task. In Elite, their job is to grow your culture, to grow your practice, to expand the vision and to make that vision manifest in your practice. So if you have 3 people at the workshop, they're all equal in their ability, you hire the best promoter. What's that mean? You hire the person that wants to be a patient, regardless if they're hired, and they refer their family and friends. So if you do a close, which I would highly recommend, do a close where people can sign up family members and friends. This is how you build your practice, by the way. Turn 1 into 3 and 5 at the workshop in the first week. If they want to be a patient and they already want to bring in their family, that's a person that gets their purpose and they're a natural promoter. So here's the deal. Everything else being equal, you always hire the natural promoter. Why? If that's the person at the front desk, great, they're going to promote. They're going to refer people. Are you going to ever do a patient appreciation day? Do you need your team to promote it? Do you want your team to go out in the community and bring people in? Are you teaching a new patient workshop? Do you want your staff to promote it? Do you want to get more referrals? So when you have a natural promoter, you're not with an intense thinking person, that's a little more introverted or maybe not even introverted, but they don't know how to promote. There's maybe 20% that know how to promote. I mean, don't quote me on that. That's like the 80-20 rule, right? So you always hire the natural promoter. Now in Elite, every week we have a 6-step staff meeting. Step 3, every team member has to come in with a PR to grow the practice. We have pre-shift huddles where we're creating our schedule every day. So when you have a natural promoter, they can see things bigger than they are, and they know naturally how to inspire people and bring them in. So you always hire the person that is a natural promoter that wants to be a patient regardless if they're hired, and automatically wants to get their friends in. So we start with a group interview, right? We put them against other people or with other people, see how they react. Then a team interview, so the team hires them, so we have team unity. Then you bring them to a workshop, and you always hire the most purpose-driven natural promoter. Now, this is just a short video, but I wanted to give you this because I get calls all the time. This is it, man. You can't do it without a powerful team. When you have a purpose-driven, promoting, fired-up team, that's when your practice grows on its own. Okay? And that's what we want. So there you go. I hope this helps. 3 steps. This is a brief introduction, but if you do this, gang, I guarantee you the quality of the team member that you will create, because you create a great purpose-driven team. These are the first steps to create a great purpose-driven new team member. All right, now that I yelled at you a bunch, we're going to come at you with more stuff. All right, see you guys.